What's up YouTube, this is Little Taco Vato, and I would like to show you my custom Colossus. So, the reason I ever made a custom Colossus is because I made that big juggernaut over there. And the Colossus that I had, let me grab him real quick. He's short, man. There he is. Yep, that's the Colossus that we get from the Marvel Universe line. And I've been looking for bigger ones, but I couldn't find one. Not great ones, except like maybe the 90s one, but that one was too lengthy and too tall. So yeah, I decided to make a bigger one. So yeah, let me show you how I made them. Okay, first what you're going to need is this Colossus from the X-Men Origins Wolverine line. It's a 2-pack with Wolverine, and here it is right here. Next, you're going to need the Dragon Ball Evolved Broly. That's all I have left of him right there, and here's a picture of it. Okay, the last thing you're probably going to need is a Colossus with some knee pads and some shoulder pads. Anyone will do, but I use this one from the 2-pack with Juggernaut. I lied. I forgot. You're also going to need the Marvel Legends MODOK. Just the legs, though. Just the legs. That's his legs. So, but okay. Last figure. You're gonna need that Marvel Legends Showdown Colossus from the Magneto and Colossus 2-pack. So that's the last one. So let me start explaining how I made this. So first of all, I got this guy. I got a Dremel tool. I chopped his legs off. I took his hands off, and this is how it kind of started with this picture. Okay, then I grabbed these hands, and then I slotted them into the Broly forearms as like some little like knobs to plug into the arms. Here's a picture. Okay, then I grabbed the legs. These are Broly's feet. I put some mold over it, some sculpt, epoxy sculpt, you know what it is, to get rid of those lines. And then that's his shins. I covered them all up. I put some more epoxy sculpt on there. And then that's MODOK's legs, and I put them together. I basically pegged them together. Here's the picture right here of how I did that. Okay, and here's a picture of everything sort of Frankenstein together before I really started to paint him. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention too that this guy's hands are those hands. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's the paint I used. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but it looks like... Dang, I can't even read that. Red... Wet flake, whatever that says. What are you? Stoplight red, yeah. What are you? Oh, you can read these a bit better. Okay, so it's this one says Met Red Rogue, whatever. And then that orange red, I want to get that GI red. That's for all the red parts. You mix these together to make a certain red. That's kind of close to this one, but you know, honestly, I should have got it closer because like the forearms and like this part of him, the crotch area, are painted with this Rust-Oleum red gloss. Colonial. Get out of the way, Magneto. Colonial red. And then that's the forearms and stuff, and then the feet are too, so they mixed in pretty well here. But that's gloss, that's matte on gloss, so yeah. Gloss it here with that spray paint red, and then the 4 reds mixed together right there on the shins, calf part, and the red part of the knee pad. And then also on the red parts of the upper body. Those are the red parts mixed together. And then one of these yellows is a perfect yellow for the knee pad yellow. The same yellow, but I mixed with white. GI yellow. I can't remember which one, though. Or FL yellow. One of them is perfect mixed with white to make that same yellow right there. But I didn't care anymore after a while. Well, yeah. So those are for the reds, this is for the yellows, this is for the other red, and this for the metallic finish, bright coke rust-oleum metallic. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, that's the paints to use. Okay, and then yeah, here's a picture of him kind of put together like that. And then if you really look at it, you can kind of see, if I would have took it in a different direction, that he would have kind of looked like, this Age of Apocalypse figure, if I played my cards differently. Okay, so at that point, most of the figures painted up. That red would be painted. That would be painted. You would have to Dremel out the knees, so you can slot those in. So yeah, that would be painted. That would be painted. That would be painted. That would be painted. All of this would be pretty much painted except the chest area. So what I did for the chest area was I got this Colossus right here, and then I glued this, his little shoulder pads or whatever to him, like that. Okay, and then you would do a sculpting job. This is my first time really sculpting heavily, so it's not my best work. He looks all right from afar, but if you look closer, it's kind of crappy. But it's not my forte. So then you sculpt, and then you paint it yellow, whichever yellow I showed you earlier. And then for shadowing, you use one of these pastels. I use both of these oranges for different sections or whatever to make it kind of like this guy where he's got shading. And then that should be pretty much everything, as long as you had put it together. So yeah. So why even make a Colossus whenever we have plenty of options for Colossus? As you can see, 1, 2, 3, and there's like 3 or 4 more probably. But why even do that? Well, because I made the Juggernaut bigger, because I couldn't stand the Juggernaut barely being taller than a regular size figure. So I had to make a Juggernaut real big, and then I ran into another problem. The Colossus I had were too small. So then I had to make a Colossus to be bigger, and I wanted him to at least be like a head shorter around his top of the head to the helmet, and I pretty much nailed it. So yeah, that's why I really wanted to make a Colossus figure, because I couldn't stand him being a shorty. He's supposed to be 7'5", and this Colossus is the same height as a Cable, and the Cable would be a 6'8". So him being a head taller, head 7'5", that's about right. So yeah, I want to make a bigger Colossus. Alright, here's some size comparisons with some of my other figures. Here's my custom Hulk. And some of you might be saying, Hulk's supposed to be way bigger. No, if you Google it, Hulk's only supposed to be like 7 feet to 8 feet tall. And Colossus is 7'5". Now, I did want a bigger Hulk, so I did make him slightly bigger. But, he's not supposed to... Hulk is actually smaller than Juggernaut, too. Juggernaut's supposed to be like 9 foot tall, so a 9-footer technically, even though my Juggernaut would probably be like an 8 foot something. So 8-footer, 7'8" maybe, because he's like a couple inches taller than Colossus. Colossus 7'5", 6'8", just about 6'8" over there. So yeah, they're all taller now. So I like that better. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this review. I hope you liked it. Y'all know I don't go over articulation, but especially with these knees, because these knees are a little resistant for me. So yeah, I recommend making a bigger hole. But yeah, technically the knees, the ankles can go up, down, turn all the way around. The knees can bend, and you can rotate the whole thing. You can't actually move the waist much, because it's all glued together by like a nail and stuff. You can twist the forearms, you can twist the hands, you can go up and down, you can make the arms move, but it's like a launching thing, because that's how this Colossus was. he does this like weird launching thing because of the Wolverine or whatever. And his head can go up and down, moves, turn all the way around and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically him. I just wanted a bigger Colossus to fit in because he was too small like that. This guy looks better, especially compared to Juggernaut. Alright. Anyways, I hope you have a good day, and I'm signing off.